Hi there and welcome to the Huddle pregame show. I'm Keith Schweigert, he's Tim Gross, and we're getting you ready for the state semifinal showdown between Wilson and Pittsburgh Central Catholic. Tim, Wilson is the last LL League team standing in the postseason. The Bulldogs knocked off Cumberland Valley 28-14 last week in the District 3 6A championship game, and now they're one of 4 teams left gunning for a state title. But they've got their hands full this week. Central Catholic, the District 7 champ, hasn't lost since the first week of the season. The Vikings clobbered District 4 champ Williamsport 62-21 last week, and they're averaging 47.9 points per game. They've got a 1,600-yard passer in quarterback Troy Fisher, a 1,500-yard rusher in J.J. Younger, and a 1,000-yard receiver in Justice Evans. So, Tim, it's pretty clear that the Bulldogs are going to be underdogs this week. What do you think they have to do to spring an upset over Central Catholic?
Well, it's no real mystery or super insightful thing to say that the things that win football games are the things that are going to be important here. I mean, eliminating the mistakes, eliminating turnovers, trying to play as much of a possession game as possible just to keep the ball out of their offensive players' hands. And Wilson did a pretty good job of that last week against Cumberland Valley. I mean, they were trailing 14-0 at halftime,
right,
and their defense got off the field really quickly. I think Cumberland Valley had maybe 2 first downs in the second half, so that was a key to that game. And another thing is the intangibles for Wilson. I mean, last week proved that it's going to take a team's best effort to knock off Wilson, and they're certainly used to seeing that. I mean, we see it 6 or 7 weeks a year here in the LL League where teams just are gunning for Wilson the whole season, and it takes a perfect game to knock them off, if that. I mean, a lot of teams have played perfect games and haven't been able to do it. So right. I think trailing 14-0 to Cumberland Valley, everyone but Wilson thought, that should be something that Cumberland Valley should be able to close out. But, that mentality and having to face a team's best effort every game really gives Wilson sort of a standard to follow, and they've done such a good job of that. And I think that's what helps them at these postseason games when, a lot of teams might not be in those situations. Wilson's used to it, and I think it's going to take that to go into a game that obviously they are a little, overmatched and they're an underdog, but we'll see what they do. If they go in and focus on playing Wilson football and employ all the stuff they've learned throughout the season and the tight games they've played and all that stuff, I think they can make it close and give themselves a chance.
Okay, well, thanks, Tim. Wilson and Central Catholic will square off Saturday at 7 p.m. in Altoona. The winner will take on either St. Joseph's Prep or North Penn in the state championship game on December 10th in Hershey Park Stadium. LMP's Jeff Reinhart will be covering Wilson Central Catholic for us, so be sure to follow him on Twitter for updates from that one. If the Bulldogs pull off the upset, Tim and I will be back here next week to talk about the state championship game. If not, thanks for following along with us all season. We'll see you next time.